All right.
All righty. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us again on another edition of Will and Friends Live. Today, I have special guests Ina and Aubrey, Fit Moms OC, who's going to be joining us to talk about fitness, virtual fitness, one-on-one virtual fitness classes, also virtual PE classes that they're doing. So again, I know you guys are both very busy, so thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
Thanks.
having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah. Why don't we start with a little bit of background? And for those who don't know you, both of you, or either of you, tell us a little bit about what you do, who you are, and what you're doing these days.
Okay, so I'll start off. I'm Ina. I've probably been in the fitness industry now for 10 years, which is kind of scary and exciting to say all at the same time. I am a mom and I have two boys. The older one is 3, the younger one is 1.5. And when I was going through and after I had my little ones, I just wanted to kind of figure out what was needed and what was missing. And for me as a mom, there were some things that were missing, and I wanted to try to create a space and a community and an outlet for those moms, because we all go through different journeys. And I just wanted to have that, a place for everyone to feel comfortable and kind of learn about embracing the new change that we were all going through and coming out more confident and more comfortable in our own skins. And that's kind of how the idea of Fit Moms came about. Both of us were talking about it after we had our first little ones, and that's how the company idea was born. And now we're both doing one-on-one personal training, and I'll let Aubrey touch up on the other programs that we're doing right now.
So hi, I'm Aubrey. Ina and I met over at Equinox. I've been in the business a little longer, and I've been in the business probably closer to 15 years. I was with Equinox for 10 years, and that's where I kind of kicked off my career there. I have also been in the fitness industry doing IFBB professional bodybuilding. I'm not that big right now, but in the figure world. So that's kind of how I changed my career from corporate life into fitness. I wanted more time for training. I wanted to be able to still have a family. So I went ahead and just molded those two together. I have a son who's 6 years old, and his name is Caden. And Ina and I, when we met over at Equinox and we had the kids and came up with this creative outlet, we already had our own businesses, and we wanted to just create something for everybody, knowing what the moms went through. So that's why we have Fit Moms. For virtual, we're now doing a lot more of the virtual PE classes. So it's something that's offered for the kids, because when we noticed that COVID was coming down the pike, and that kids might need to be homeschooled very soon. In my world, I decided to say, oh my gosh, I'm a single mom. I really need an outlet for my son, because I only have so much time, and I still need to be able to work and do all the fun stuff that we still as humans want to have downtime for. And, I wanted to make sure that moms and parents had an outlet to be able to put their kids in front of that was good and positive and motivating, and that I knew Ina and I and the business could handle that, even though this business is directed more towards moms initially. That was a necessary need for us as individuals. And so putting them in front of us and getting them moving and getting what we call their sillies out was kind of nice, because we always believe that if you can keep somebody moving, it helps their physical state, their mental state, and it also just creates a very good immune system for the kids, for the parents. Their mental state is better. And if they want to join in on the class, we've had a lot of parents that have decided that 30 minutes is them and their child's time together, and they will go back and forth between the husband and the wife and who joins in on it. But whoever needs to get their exercise in just jumps on in. So that's been kind of nice.
That's awesome. Do you charge them extra for a parent joining when it's just a kid?
No. It is. It was more the merrier. We are so happy to have the parents there.
Yeah, it's a set family rate. So even if the family has like multiple kids, there's nothing additional. Just
how's that been? How's that been received? Because I've had some people come on, do some Brazilian jiu-jitsu moves, and it's been really cool because you're able to show them the exercise you're doing, and they see it and they're able to correct you. but at the same time, I know there's challenges as well. What are you guys seeing? Because you guys have been doing for almost, it's at least over a month.
Yeah.
If not longer.
At least in the virtual PE classes, it's been nice to be able to modify our classes based on who's been coming to class. We actually noticed a pretty consistent group. There's obviously changes in people's schedules as Zoom classes get added to their list of things to do. But for the most part, we know everybody's names and we are able to modify it to what things that they like to do. So there are certainly certain ages that like a little more plyometric and can jump around and love the dancing, and there's salsaing with their parents and turning around in a circle. And then there's other kids that want to do like as many push-ups as possible. So we've been really able to make that specific. And we try not to worry so much about their form. If you give kids a fun thing like a turtle on their back and you give them kind of analogies that they think are fun, if you jump around like a frog, they know what a frog looks like, so they just imitate that, whereas adults may not take that quite as well. Although the parents just jump right into frog position. So
and so still want them to have like fun and have like a good time, and want to come back and want to join us again. So a lot of it, even, the push-ups, like when my kid's doing the push-ups, they're absolutely not like the correct form. He's just like bringing his hips like towards the ground and, counting, but he's like so excited because he's, doing his version of push-ups, or bear crawls is a popular exercise for the kids. I don't know why, but it's very, very popular. And they, not popular amongst the parents, not popular amongst the adults, but again, they like love it. Are they doing it in perfect form? Absolutely not, but they get to like sprint around as quickly as they can on their hands and knees, and they're just,
sometimes they're better than the parents because they have flexibility, right? So bear crawls is one of those things that's pretty close to crawling. We actually try to teach adults how to crawl again and teach them how to roll over properly. So it makes it, kind of fun. If we can like model it after their kids, your kid is doing it better than you. So let's just follow in, Jane's suit or whatever. So it's fun. But on virtual side, we do watch their form. So from our virtual training perspective.
Like when we have like our clients and stuff, then I think we're more strict about our form and telling people what to do and making sure that they're staying in a good spot. But the kids, we just want them to have a good time.
Yeah. I was just going to say, do you feel like it's, there's definitely pros in the sense of being able to focus or maybe communicating certain things through webinars that you're now seeing that we could potentially incorporate moving forward once quarantine is lifted? It's probably going to be a mix of virtual and live, or maybe not, but at the same time, you're seeing some benefits of that as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think that, there's a lot of benefits in terms of being able to, come, virtually to someone's like house, and it's like a place that they feel comfortable in, right? You're not like taking them to the gym or anything like that. So you're coming to a place where they're comfortable in, and, you're teaching them how to move. And as Aubrey mentioned, moving, even if you're moving a little bit, makes you like feel good. It makes you feel happy, even if you did, just a handful of Scots, or you went outside and enjoyed the beautiful sunshine that we're so fortunate to have here. And just we forget, but being able to move just makes us all more, physically happy and also more mentally happy. And so we just kind of need to remember that when we want to just kind of lay on the couch, not do anything, even just going outside and standing in the sun for a little bit, just something is kind of going to make you feel good.
No doubt. Because I know what's going to be trending right now. We heard all about it when we went to college, right? If people went to school, the freshman 15, no responsibilities, no parents telling us what to eat, when to eat. I had all the late night, midnight snacks. I remember in LA, we get the double cheeseburger with the curly fries and the ranch. And with all that said,
Jack in the Box. You were
I was gonna say, what fast food chain are we going
to? Whichever was open and cheapest. But now we're at home all the time, and if we're lucky enough, or we're fortunate enough where the pantries are full, or we're able to get all the things that we need, we're snacking. We're working hard, we're doing these webinars, we're doing these things, but we're just eating all the time. So we're probably gonna have a shelter in place 15. So the things that you guys are talking about right now, It's
That sounds
very
great. Can we coin that term? Can we hashtag
Shelter in place 50?
Or is that already taken? Because I would like to trademark that.
I like
go for it. Go for it. I don't know how far I'll take it, but you can we'll certainly do it. So, since you guys are both virtual physical instructors, what kind of exercise are good for families, kids, adults? Maybe start with adults, because I know a lot of people within our network are sitting in front of our computers all day long, just working and just being hard at work. And so what kind of exercises or stretches that we should consider?
Well, if you're, yeah.
I'll
So
start really quick just because
yeah.
There's one stretch that I feel like most adults need, and I don't know if they do it. If you have a foam roller at home, or you can lay on the ground, it doesn't really matter. You need to reverse the posture. So I have my phone right now and I'm texting all day, and I'm also looking at the screen and typing like this. So they're all rounded up and all, you know, one side's higher than the other. Sometimes they pick up the kids a lot more than that. So they need to just lay with their arms just out and the thumbs rotated down. So you can do that standing up vertical if you feel like being on your back is too difficult. If you have a foam roller, you basically put it on your spine. So that's those long, you know, people have them to roll out or whatnot, because you just need to open up and reverse the posture of this. So more than anything else, stretching that out is so crucial, because otherwise you're going to have neck pain, shoulder pain, and then you start developing weird tendencies because you don't realize how stuck in a position you are, because there are some people that are still essential workers and are on their computers just all the time.
Yeah.
You know? And we want to stay useful and healthy.
Yeah, and then in terms of just, you know, basic exercises that kind of get your blood flow going is, you know, the squat that everyone talks about, you know, squatting. All ages can squat. The kids love it. You know, they'll even throw jumps in there for you. You know, the adults don't need to start off with the jumps right away. It just kind of depends on your, you know, fitness level, but you really, you know, shouldn't be like, oh, I can't go to the gym. I don't have an equipment. Therefore, I can't exercise, because, you know, that's just an excuse. So we want to still, you know, try to get up and move. You don't need weights, but you could use anything you have in your house. You could use, you know, something as big as like a water jug or like your laundry detergent. I'm sure we've all been reading about, you know, using our big laundry detergent. You could just do body weight. You could do them fast. You could do them slow. You could play around, you know, with the tempo. You could pause them. You could use soup cans. We've all done exercises with soup cans. Soup cans are kind of light. You could pick up your kids if you have kids laying around.
Just be careful of what mood you are in when you pick up your kids, right? Like if you're already like stressed out the day. I'm just kidding.
If you pick up your kids. No, what we were doing, I'll have to share the video later, but we were doing jump squats for one of our virtual PE classes. And Carter runs up and he's like, pick me up, mommy. And I'm like, really? Like, are you sure you want to get picked up for these? And so, here we are, you know, so it's like you know, picked him up and he's like front loaded. And I'm like, okay, 1, 2, 3, you know, and he's like giggling, right? So here I was doing like 10 jump squats with my, you know, son, who's like almost 40 pounds. He's a big 3-year-old. So
big as my 6-year-old.
Yeah. So, but, you know, but also, you know, that we forget about the most basic in terms of for our core, like the plank position. So even if you're at home watching TV, you could hold the plank position really good in terms of, you know, engaging your core. If you're just starting off, you could hold it from your knees, or you could raise your hands up and have your hands on like your couch and your feet are on your legs. So there's so many different ways to modify it. You know, lunges, there's like quite a variation with those. You could use those same jugs for rows, going back to what Aubrey was talking about, you know, working again on that posture, because we're always, you know, inverted in everything that we do, even before the virtual and having to stay at home. It was just driving everything that we do. We always are internally rotated instead of external. But yeah, and then of course you want to be watching what you're eating the best that you can. And you know, in terms of like the food, where we like to bake and we like to do good things, but maybe you bake and you like drop off your cookies, if you feel comfortable with that, to like your neighbors, instead of eating them all by yourself. But, and then up
a little bit, right?
Yeah, you can have a little bit, you know, just do some squats, squat while you eat the cookie. I don't know, but you could have a little bit and then
Or squat while you dip the cookie in milk or something like that.
Yeah.
there you go. There you go. Then it's
put
like,
the milk on the ground, so you have to get
smart.
the milk.
That's smart.
Yes. Yeah. Or like, if it's like really low, then it's like you have to squat and then maybe you have to like jump back and forward, and then you get like a bite of the cookie. You got to earn it. Yeah.
You guys should create a challenge. You guys should create a challenge where people do that and people post those videos, because it'd be very entertaining and also good exercise,
Yeah.
How can you get to your cookie? So it's like squat, burpee, get that face down to the floor, and then you got to pick it up. Yeah. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
What do you guys recommend in regards to how long or how often and how long we should be working out?
Well, the actual guidelines say at least 30 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Because we have more time, we can definitely double it. So, try to get an hour a day, just spreading it out. So think 30 and 30, morning and night, keep the metabolism going up. If you're going to do something that's more intense, then do one workout that's a very short burst of exercise, like a 20-minute HIIT class, because there's tons of them online and tons of them that you can get access to. And then you can do a more calm walk as you go about the day, and then you can get out and just enjoy some sun or some cool weather, depending on what time of day you do. So an hour a day.
That's great. Can you guys talk a little bit about how Fit Moms OC started?
Okay. Ina, you want to tell us how Fit Mom started?
Well, for us, when we first, after going, so during postpartum, afterwards, there were certain things that we were looking for in terms of in the fitness world and the exercise world that we felt weren't quite there and weren't quite available in terms of resources. So that's when we wanted to try to kind of create that community and that outlet for people to have, for moms to have, to be able to come together, share in their journey, understand that everyone's journey is different, and that we should kind of embrace our new bodies and embrace who we are. And in turn, if we're a stronger and happier self, then that plays a good, it's, connected to our family and how we are with like our family and how we interact with each other.
Yeah, we found a lot of moms, one, only getting the outlet of yoga or boot camps. And we found a lot of that for us specifically. We weren't necessarily only a yoga person, even though we might do that. It wasn't our main outlet. And then to do a boot camp right after you have children is generally not the best choice for our core. So they weren't strong enough, and they weren't, even though they were geared towards moms, it was not necessarily what we should have been doing. So with Ina and I, knowing the fitness industry so well, we just figured, okay, let's teach them how to retrain their core, and let's teach them that no matter what background, and if they had a C-section or they had a natural birth, that they can still come together and get back their body. And it's okay to be able to look at yourself and figure out how to make yourself healthy, even though you now have this new human. And the kids have, lots of checkups and whatnot after you have them. And then the moms don't really get a checkup. They just say, see you in 6 weeks. And, there's nothing, just don't do too much stuff for the first 6 weeks, but after that, you're fine. And really that's, we're used to a lot of checkups for a long time. And then all of a sudden you're just pushed out into the world. And so we don't necessarily know what they're doing physically and mentally, but they don't really get any kind of help with that. So we wanted to be that intermediary to be able to transition them to their new bodies, their new selves.
Yeah, so we've done a couple of like different like postpartum classes, kind of exercise classes, trying to get them used to returning their core on. Because after having gone through it, I went and I was like, oh, well, like at 6 weeks, like I feel good, and I still remember like going and like being like, well, I used to be able to do pull-ups, so here we go, and like jumping up to like the pull-up bar and trying to do it, and it literally felt like someone like took a knife into my stomach and just like sliced it, like, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I was not like ready for that, and like, and it was just such a weird experience because
both of you, I know Ina more so because I saw your post when you were pregnant, right? You're still doing workouts.
So it's like we like
things in a healthy manner, right? with all precautions taken care of, but you're still working out. I was like, dang, this girl's going crazy. I'm sure Aubrey, you were doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I just had mine earlier. So.
Yeah, but it was just like, so it's just like so weird to be like working out and be like in the fitness industry and feel like I was okay, but then go and do that and like I wasn't. And I was like, wow, like I had no idea that that was going to happen. Like I can't be the only one that has like experienced this. So then it was kind of like after Aubrey was like, oh yeah, like the exact same thing happened to me, because I was like, I'm fit, like I could do a pull-up. Why can't I do a pull-up? And it was just like your body was just kind of like, was like, sit down, right? Your body was like, you're like not ready for this at like 6 weeks. Like, what are you doing?
And
And
we
then
also used to get those precautionaries, if you remember, Ina, like in the beginning, at least 6 years ago, they were almost like, don't work out too much because you just don't want to disturb anything. So you were getting those. And now we've come to a term where they're saying continue to be active. If you've already been active, go ahead and continue to do so.
yeah.
So Ina got both of those, one where it was like a little bit more like be careful, and then the second baby where now they're getting a little bit, one, she's gone through it, and two, now they're a little bit more open to that.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's just kind of like something that, and we hope that it's something that we have provided and we'll be able to like continue to provide, that it's kind of like should be like a safe area, a safe zone kind of for like moms to be like, okay, this is what I went through, like how do I get back to what I was doing, or I need help with this. So it's kind of like helping them all along their journey. Doesn't matter, what part they're in. But right now more about like the post, and obviously both of us are now like way post, but still it's something that like we remember and have gone through differently, but remember and have gone through. So just kind of getting moms to share and continue to embrace their change.
So are you guys doing a lot of these webinars for Fit Moms OC on Zoom, on YouTube, on Facebook? How does that go? If those who are interested to find out more information about these classes, what's the best next step?
Well, the best step to actually find out information versus joining in, we do the classes on Zoom, but we're probably most active on Instagram and Facebook. So Instagram, we push out all of our information through there for Fit Moms and just as a whole. And then Facebook, we've actually created a separate page for this virtual PE so that people that are just interested in virtual PE can really get the schedule and they can go through that. So we have both Fit Moms OC, which they can look up at Fit Moms OC, both on Instagram and on Facebook. And then virtual PE with the kiddos is the one that we do for that specific class. And we do that class through Zoom, and they keep their link consistent. So they just know that they come into the class whatever time they choose.
Yeah, and all the information should be there, but if for some reason, it's not, they could reach out to either one of us, because all the Zoom stuff is now all like password protected. So we do have like the passwords and stuff for it, and both of our personal Instagrams kind of feed into the Fit Moms Instagram.
And we do offer them the free week if they want to try out that virtual PE. So if somebody's interested and just want to see if the kids will jump on board, then they're more than welcome to jump on, grab our Zoom, and then get into that just without paying for anything. Just jumping in.
Yeah,
are you guys sort of doing it like once a week, once a month? Like what's the frequency?
3 times a week, twice a day, or twice. So twice every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So a class with me that's probably going to get changed to 9:30. It's at 10:30 right now, and then Ina does her class at 3, and it's a half an hour session, which is just long enough for the kids to get involved but not overactive. And and then they're good.
So it's just like 30 minutes. So I think
that's 30 minutes. And then at the same time, like I know we were talking before, it was a little easier when people weren't mandated to be homeschooling. And yet now people are doing courses online, on the internet. It's regimented. So it's harder to get things in. So if you have classes throughout the day or at 9 and 9:30 and 3:30, then you're able to at least jump in on one of those during the week.
So just kind of to provide something fun and like an outlet, whether the kids want to do it by themselves and the parents want to use it as a break, or whether the parents want to be involved and be a part of it. Either way is fine. But it's fun, and you get to see everyone's little like windows pop up.
And then it is, we organized it for ages 4 to 8 specifically. I know that obviously Ina's children are a little bit younger and they still really enjoy it. So anybody can really participate because, you know, it's any age, but we geared it towards that group that can actually somewhat focus on some of the tasks. Otherwise, the parents will probably need to be in the room with them just to keep them focused and organized.
Yeah.
What's up? As we wrap up, we're getting very close to the end of this webinar. And thank you again so much. Thank you both so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. But as we wrap up, what's maybe one activity or one thing parents or adults, kids should be thinking about in regards to fitness that you can give them, in the sense of maybe an activity that they can be thinking about that they didn't know that was an option, things like that.
That's a good one.
I know we were talking a little bit about like instead of finding Easter eggs or maybe the painting of the rocks, we pass that out throughout the neighborhood. That was an idea.
Yeah, I mean, we did for Orange County, they wanted people to do scavenger hunts basically on their walks. So you would get a group together and you would make your rocks. So you would paint rocks and everybody would get their rock. They put some sort of inspiring message or inspiring picture on it and put it out throughout the community. And your job was to go ahead and on your walk be able to find these. And you didn't have to pick them up. You could just take a picture of them and spread it out through your mom's group, or just see if you could make scavenger hunts with colors. So the kids that are a little bit younger, you can just say, find something this color or a rock with this color. Yeah. So just make them go on to details so that it's not just like this big world that now they're, you know, stuck out there and they're just trying to walk around. You have to give them a task to do. Even the older kids appreciate that. It's almost like an I Spy, but for a outdoor I Spy. And if you have dogs, then you can make it fun and actually get 2 things in at one time.
Yeah. And then for us, our neighborhood did a similar thing. Instead of the rocks, when Aubrey said colors, that they had all the neighbors put up a rainbow somewhere, like obviously on the outside of their house. So whether it was like in the window or on like or on the driveway or like on their garage. And so when the kids were like walking outside, they were going on like a rainbow hunt, like throughout the neighborhood. So like the houses that were like participating in it had, a rainbow somewhere, and you had to like walk and kind of like find where the rainbow was on like everyone's house. So I think the kids in our neighborhood are like a little bit younger, so they like, appreciate it. Everyone knows what, a rainbow looks like. So they appreciate kind of going and doing that. But we go on walks all the time because I have like 2 little ones, and I'm very thankful for our backyard, but they get tired of just running in circles in the backyard. So then, we run in circles outside on our walk. So my older one likes to run ahead as fast as he possibly can, and then he stops, and then the younger one catches him, and it's very sweet. Then they like embrace, and we do this again, and that's how I get them all the way around the block. So it's kind of like they're playing their own catch game, and we have a dog as well, so we bring the dog along with us. But yeah, we've just been trying to get outside, and think we sometimes forget how good it makes us feel when we go outside, and doing our best to watch what we eat. But sometimes that's a little bit more difficult because you can't always get to the store, but hopefully we're all getting some type of groceries delivered to us.
And then one other thing that I thought of that I've seen in other neighborhoods, and we're starting to do it a little bit here in Irvine, is sidewalk chalk. A lot of people have sidewalk chalk, and they can make hopscotch, or they can write positive messages, or they can do like red light, green light. So the kids will make it for the other people, and it just kind of makes something a little bit more interesting, because you stop and it says go, and then you do it. And then there's ones that have even been like, they draw hooves, kind of like in the olden Western days, like walk this way, walk that way. So that's been fun. And I've seen that happening out through Costa Mesa a little bit more, and they're starting to do it here in Irvine. So if you have sidewalk chalk, it's cheap to buy, and it lets you explore the outside a little bit differently and let people know you were there without being there.
Exactly. You can contribute to the neighborhood, or somebody else can do that, and then you can make
you can make your social networking that way.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah, the social network.
Well, again, thank you so much. I know you guys are both extremely busy. Thank you so much. Where to reach you personally if they have questions. I know we talked about Fit Moms OC is the web page on Instagram and Facebook that they can reach out to. But if they had questions for you guys personally for virtual workouts or virtual PE, where can they find you?
Go ahead, Ina.
For the virtual PE, we also have a Facebook page for that. That's like, it's linked in our Fit Moms. So if they look at the Fit Moms page, they'll be able to find the virtual PE page. But otherwise, both of us are on Facebook, so they could just reach out to us personally, either through Facebook or Instagram. It's just our name, so it's not, yeah.
So my Instagram is at Aubrey Tweets. So that's where my Instagram page is. And I actually have Aubrey Reavis IFBB Pro for my fitness page, or my, one, and hopefully we can link it here on Facebook.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and mine's just like my name, so it's just at Ina, or so not as creative as Aubrey.
All good, all good. Well, hope you and your family stay safe. Again, thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the rest of this Friday and this upcoming weekend.
Thank you. Enjoy the weekend.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.